Hello everyone. From a long time we've been seeing the videos of dance, of vlogs, Nandi Hills vlog. It's been long since we all had a chat. So today I'm here with one of my experience of a city of Punjab. So let's dive deep into this city. So I'm talking about a city none other than Kapurthala. Many of you would be knowing Kapurthala as a city which produces grains, wheat, sugar, and it is known for Shalimar Bagh. But the defense aspirants know Kapurthala as Selection Center North. It has an SSB board. I was fortunate enough to be a part of the assessment and I have been assessed by this board in the year 2019 when I went for my SSB interview. So let's take you through this journey of my 5 days in SSB interview that were among the best days of my life till now. So it was on 30th of July 2019 when I went to Kapurthala. I boarded a train from Jammu which dropped me to Jalandhar in exact 3 hours. I took a bus to Kapurthala city and it took some half an hour or 45 minutes for me to reach Kapurthala bus stand. It was 10 o'clock at night. Tomorrow morning I had my SSB interview and I was looking for a place to hide my head in the night. I got a call from my friend who had also gone for this SSB, and there we both met together and we rented an apartment. Spent our night there. The night was really scary. First time in life we were going to attend SSB board, and initial 2 hours we spent on preparing for OIR test and PPDT, seeing the stories that we had already made. SSB interview, those who don't know, it is an interview which recommends the candidates for becoming officers in the defense forces, Army, Air Force and Navy. This is the test which looks for potential candidates. It looks your personality, and assesses you on the basis of 15 OLQs. The selection ratio of SSB interview is 1.3%. Very less, right? So next morning when we got up, we reported at the main gate of SSB Center, Kapurthala, at 5:30 in the morning. The gates opened at 6 o'clock and we all were served with delicious breakfast. I still remember. And after that, we went for screening. There were 350 candidates who had reported, and out of them only 40 were selected in the first screening stage. I was fortunate enough to get selected in the screening stage. At the time the results were announced, I got so emotional I felt I'm gonna get one step closer to uniform, and it brought tears in my eyes. I remember that incident now also. It gives me goosebumps. And started the following procedure. We were briefed by the GTO about how we are supposed to behave, how we are supposed to have our conduct, and the necessary documents that we were supposed to carry along with us to the main hall. We went there and we were supposed to fill our PIQ forms, which stands for Personal Information Questionnaire. There I saw people who had taken coachings from different academies of India, different academies of the country, and I was the one who was a complete noob in this field. I got little scared because this was the first time I was seeing a PIQ form. There were different sections in it to be filled. The officer that was assisting us in filling the forms was nice enough to give me one extra form to fill in case I make any mistake. I filled the form, gave it back to him. Then we went back and we were supposed to submit our phones to the officer, to the CHM. Then we all got ready for our dinner. And one thing was one thing that I liked a lot about this was we all were supposed to wear formals while having our dinner. And it really gives us a feeling, it really gives us a feeling that we are doing something really unique, right? Wearing chess numbers all day long whenever you step out of your room, uh, maintaining a disciplined behavior were some traits we were supposed to follow. In evenings, we all had to report in front of CHM and tell the daily things there that happened there. Okay, then we all came back to our rooms after having the dinner, and it was a long hall. There were 10 beds placed in that hall, and we all had an interaction with the different people who had come from different cities. Some were from Delhi, from MP, from Odisha, and I made some really nice friends during that stay. We all spoke for a while, and then we slept off. Next day, second day, we we all were awakened by this beautiful music which was played at 5 o'clock in the morning. We all got up, and we all were supposed to do clean shave during that stay. Got ready with our formal dresses for the psych test. We went into the main hall, and then the psych test was conducted. In psych test, there are different tests like TAT, VAT, SRT, SDT. So basically, in TAT, you are shown 11 pictures where for like stories on that on those pictures. 11 pictures are shown. 12th one is the blank one where you are supposed to make a story from your own. Then in VAT, it's the word association test, wherein you write associations for 60 words that are shown after a duration of 15 seconds. And in SDT, you write about it's a self description test where you write about yourself, what your friends think about you, what your teachers think about you, what is your opinion of yourself, and where do you see yourself after 5 years. Then there is SRT also, which stands for situation reaction test. Again, there are 60 different situations, and you have to write very crisp responses on this, how you will deal with those situations. The psych test comes to an end, and we all go back to our halls. We Then it was 4 o'clock in the evening. We were served with the evening tea, and after that we went to the library to look for the news, to look for current news. There we discussed the stories that we had made during our psych test, and there were people. I remember there was one guy from Delhi. He was very scared. He was very scared. He was telling. He listened to different stories, and he was really not confident about his stories. But you know what was the but you know what happened at the end? He was the only guy who got recommended from our batch. Nice, no? Then on the very same day, our interviews started. Previously, we were told that our batch interview will be taken tomorrow, but right after half an hour, an officer comes and tells us that our interviews are scheduled for today. Be prepared. Okay. Then the interview started. If you are prepared enough, then you see different questions. What I will say for this question, what I will answer, how will I answer for this particular question, and you will remember things. But I was not prepared much. So I thought I'll be natural and I will show what all things I know, right? Because it is a test of personality. If you have general knowledge, it's good. If you don't have, You won't be judged merely on your GK, because it is something that can be developed, but your personality is what you carry always with you. So I was sixth in the number to give the interview. The person who went before me, he literally shat in his pants. You know, when he came out, I was able to see the sweat that was running through his underarms. It was literally coming out from his shirt. And as soon as he got out, one thing I just asked one thing from him: did he ask general awareness? He told no. I was confident enough. Now let's see how my interview goes. Then I went inside. My interview continued for approx 45 minutes. There he asked different questions about me, my family, my friends, why I want to join armed forces, why should they recommend me, my hobbies, extracurricular activities, and a lot of stuff. And the interview really went well, as per me. Then in the next day, I started the GTO tasks. In this GTO task, we were supposed to wear white uniforms and white shoes. And I was the one who carried black shoes along with me. One day prior to GTO in the evening, we all were told to prepare our uniforms, the dresses that we will be wearing. And there he clearly mentioned, guys, see, it's the white shoes that you are supposed to wear. You think yourself, if there is anyone who is wearing any other colored shoes, how will he look from the group? And then I felt this feeling in my head, Anubhav, now something has to be done. But it was 7 o'clock in the evening when I could not go out of the SSB premises. Then luck is always with me. I'm really fortunate to have this beautiful luck. I went for my tea. There were people for TGC entry, which is a technical graduate entry. They had also come. We were having tea. One guy comes to me and he asked me, "Do you have formal shoes?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have." Yeah, he told, "Actually, I have got my shoes which doesn't have laces. So tomorrow I have my conference and I need to wear shoes with laces." I got the idea. He's the one who can help me with white PT shoes. Then I told him, "Yeah, I can give you that, but I also need one favor." So I told him about this. Though the shoes were bit long, but I managed one day of GTO with those shoes itself. And as soon as the first GTO day ended, I went outside the market and got me those PT shoes. There I got to see Kapurthala market also. There is a very beautiful place called Science City, which we were advised to visit, but our group was not the one to go and move out, roam around the city, see the city. I went alone to buy those shoes. The market was really beautiful. I really enjoyed the rickshaw ride. The next day, GTO task also went well. Then finally, we had the conference. In conference, what happens, all the officers, the GTOs, which are ground testing officers, psych test, the psychologists, and the interviewer of both the boards sit together and they look for the candidate together, and there the result is flashed on the screen whether this guy is recommended or not. We all were assembled in a hall where the president of the board came and he gave us a motivational talk. He told us that if you don't get recommended for this interview, doesn't mean that your lives have ended. You have plethora of opportunities outside this board also. If you are not recommended, doesn't mean that you are not worthy enough. You may suit somewhere else, and you might be made for some other profession to follow. Okay, after this, the brief speech was made. One by one, we were called for the conference. My turn came. I always have this smile on my face, which they also praised. I entered inside and I wished them good morning, sir, and Jai Hind, everyone. and I got a positive response from them. Then they asked few questions, few basic questions about my stay, the food I loved, the friends I made, best thing about the board, anything you would like to change, which obviously the answer was no. Then we had to wait for 2 hours before the result was announced, and I was very happy that one guy uh, from our from our batch was recommended, and this is the guy who was getting scared with the stories that he had written earlier. There, the dal that they had made had very less salt in it. I first tasted it. I saw it was less, so I was pouring salt into my thing, and my friends who were sitting there, they were like, Anubhav, what are you doing? You are adding a lot of salt in it. Are you uh, are you doing this because you didn't get recommend? it was a funny it was a funny incident. And definitely when you don't get selected for interviews or anything, it hurts little, but then it gives you the opportunity to see where you lagged and improve your performance in the subsequent interviews. You go back, analyze your performance, and then improve yourself in the they say, right, failure is the next step towards success. Those it was a beautiful experience, I would say. It shaped my personality. I learned some really good facts about my personality, and it's helping me now also. Do like and comment, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Have a beautiful day.